What the fuck?
I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know why they debuted this and thought, hey, this is a good thing our community is going to be proud of us for. I was looking at the chat, and like I said, the split was it was like 70% of the chat was spamming L, 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 and the other 30% were like W, W, W. I don't know what the people spamming W were thinking. I don't know what kind of crack cocaine they were on, but give me a sniff. Give me a good old sniff, because I need some strong copium right now.
They're in fucking denial.
They've got to be, because I sat through that event, and not since Diablo Immortal have I seen something from Activision that was so utterly not worthwhile and lifeless. It's sucking the life out of me, that's how lifeless it is.
Bro,
it's sucking the life out of me like the fucking V rising vampire.
4 fucking years. Like, Apex is using the same fucking system as Overwatch for, like, releasing legends and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Sea of
one
Thieves
legend
does
per
it too.
season. I think it's like 3 or 4 a year at this point. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, by that fucking logic, 3 or 4 a year. Let's say 3.
Yeah,
4
let's say
fucking
3 a
years.
year.
Wouldn't that be fucking like 12 fucking new heroes?
You would think, but here's the thing. Here's what I think is, again, a more accurate comparison is I'm a fairly big Sea of Thieves player. I love Sea of Thieves. I think it's a great game. It started out as a sucky game, an absolutely disgustingly sucky game, and it turned
empty.
It turned into a brilliant redemption story. It's probably one of the greatest redemption stories of
like
all
No Man's
time,
Sky.
second only to No Man's Sky in terms of redemptive quality. I am amazed what Rare has managed to do in the last few years with Sea of Thieves. To take the game from the whatever the hell it was at launch, the abandoned shipyard of nothingness, to now where we've got stuff like A Pirate's Life, that massive expansion that brought in Pirates of the Caribbean, and the seasons that they've been doing lately, where they bring in new PvE quests every couple months. They bring in in these seasonal, releases, they come out with one new PvE raid at the very least.
I gotta reinstall them.
And these raids have, well, I say raids, strikes, whatever you want to call them, these PvE activities. These scripted PvE things that have cutscenes, that have character interactions, that have everything you would hope for
high production.
High production stuff, kind of like what I'd want to see in Overwatch 2. But at the same time, they also make updates and improvements to the general PvP experience in Sea of Thieves. They add new islands, new enemy types, new special open world events that players can engage in. The world is constantly changing and evolving, and they're not taking anything out, they're just adding more and more and more in.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this up for comparison because that is the direction I had hoped. I had hoped, grant you, that Overwatch 2 was going in, but this event clearly indicates to me that not only is Blizzard not willing to go in that direction, Blizzard is not competent enough to go in that direction. The old Blizzard from like fucking 2003 could go in that direction because they had talent. They had people with knowledge and experience.
Hell, fucking 6 years ago.
Yeah. Hell, when Overwatch came out, I believe that Blizzard probably could have done it, but I feel so bad for the Overwatch team, the Overwatch 2 team specifically, because I don't blame them at all. Like, when I'm saying all this, I really don't blame them. I blame the leadership. Because the people working at Activision Blizzard who are on Team 4, on the Overwatch team, are insanely passionate people. I've seen them on Twitter talking about how much they love this game and how proud they are of their work. Every time I see a concept artist or a character modeler, be like the other day, I was looking at the woman who created the new Overwatch 2 model for Pilot Diva, when Diva hops out of the mech. She was so proud to finally be able to show off her work, the stuff that she'd been working on for months and months and months for Overwatch 2. To be able to show that off to the public, she was insanely proud of that, and I know you as an artist can relate to that. I don't want to shit on the Overwatch 2 people, but by extension, because the people at the top are so insanely incompetent, they're going to get thrown under the bus too, and my heart goes out to them, because I understand that, but not a lot of people do.
Oh yeah, I figured it out because, like you said, fucking Yakuza kept reusing the same shit. I figured out why. The first game, they had basically no fucking hope for it. The fucking leadership was starting.
They had no fucking hope whatsoever
for the very first one. Then they fucking made it and they proved it. Fuck you. Look at this shit. This shit fucking sold like hotcakes. Oh, by the way, you got 10 months to make the sequel. Oh, by the way, you got 10 months to make the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
There's no doubt that Activision wanted to sequel bait Overwatch, but to be fair to Activision, and this is one of the only things I can give them credit for, they did not rush the Overwatch 2 team to push out Overwatch. Overwatch 2's development had been fairly uneventful up until recently, when the Overwatch League started putting pressure on Activision and were like, hey, what the fuck are we spending money on getting licenses to own Overwatch League teams if no one's watching Overwatch, because Overwatch has been in limbo because you put all the content into Overwatch 2 instead. And now we find out there was no content that they were putting in.
There's no fucking content.
What were they doing for 4 years? at
What
launch
were they
in
thinking?
2016, they had what, 32 heroes, 28 heroes? It was an insane amount of heroes. And now in 2022, they've come up with, in the span of 4 years, maybe 4.5 years, this is what they've come up with: 3 heroes, maybe 4, 6 maps, 1 new mode, and a shit ton of cosmetics. This is all they've managed to come up with in 4 years.
What the fuck is a mythic skin?
Mythic.
The legendaries already like changed basically fucking everything.
Well, basically what's going on is they're tweaking the existing cosmetic system. Okay, let me break this down into what I know versus what I think. Firstly, what I know is Mythic is going to be the new quality that is superior to Legendary, and Mythic skins are going to allow you to tweak it and like remove individual parts and swap Mythic parts out for one another. It's going to allow basic skin customization, something people have been asking for with the default Overwatch 2 skins, and Blizzard apparently is like, yeah, no, in order to do that, you have to get Mythic skins. Yes, and that's where we get into what I think is going on here. I think you're going to be able to still get legendary skins and rare and uncommon through loot boxes, assuming they even keep loot boxes, maybe just straight to credits or whatever. Because I have heard a lot of reports indicating that they're going to be abandoning the use of loot boxes due to the regulatory issues in a number of EU countries. Yeah, well, it's absolutely gambling, but technically in the US and maybe Canada, I think, it's not legally considered gambling because we have really shitty laws and really corrupt government systems. But I think Activision is sensing that things are not going in their favor, so they might try to move away from that. And Mythic skins are probably, I think, going to be like Fortnite skins where you spend $10 a piece on them. They're just going to be direct microtransactions. And in a way, I don't really mind that. Yeah, I don't really mind that per se, because I'd much rather have a item shop where people can just buy whatever they want to buy directly as opposed to gambling for it. It's better. It's not good, but it's a lot better than the system we've got.
I think it's a good option if you make the shit cheap.
Which I know they absolutely won't. I don't see them making these skins. Why would I pay?
Let's say like Overwatch would. Well, let's suppose Overwatch 2 was a $60 game because I think this.
No. Overwatch 2, they confirmed it's going to be free to play. That's never.
No, I'm saying hypothetically.
Hypothetically, okay.
Let's say it would be $60 and they're still going to do like the idea of $10 fucking dollars per cosmetics. If I want to get like 6 fucking skins, am I gonna pay the same fucking price I paid for the fucking game? That's outrageous.
And yet, here's the counter argument with games like TF2, for example. Over the course of, I don't know how long I've been playing TF2 now, probably 2000. When did MVM come out? 2012, 2011,
I
something
don't remember.
like that.
I wasn't playing.
I want to say it's 2012. I think I started playing in like late 2012, early 2013, maybe. And before that, I was playing on consoles a little bit before that. But point being, over the past 9 or 10 years, I probably spend, I don't know, $100, $200 on microtransactions, maybe a little more, over the course of like my entire history playing the game. Because, you know, a $5 skin here, a $2 item here.
I think I spent like at most like $20 because I kept
a 50-cent item here. My point though is that over the course of many, many years, I probably spent far more than $60 on TF2 as a game, and I do not regret that in the slightest.
Fair.
I've had so many amazing experiences in TF2. Many of my real life friends I've gotten through or strengthened my relationship to through TF2 that I don't mind the idea of spending money to support TF2. Although I will say, like right now, I'm very hesitant to spend money on TF2 because I don't like what Valve's doing, but that's a whole different story. But if Overwatch decided, hey, you know, our approach is going to be two-front. For PvP, we're going to make certain skins purchasable directly, and we're going to get rid of loot boxes. And all the Overwatch 1 skins, we're simply going to make them, you just buy them with coins, like the same currency you already had access to in Overwatch 1. Basically, make all the Overwatch 1 cosmetics free, and make the Overwatch 2 ones a mix of free and paid. I think that's what they're going to do, and that I would have a big problem with. What I'm concerned about is what they're going to be doing with PvE, because as you know, I'm first and foremost a PvE player. I really am concerned about their monetization direction for PvE. I think they said, although I'm not positive, that PvE would be free as well, but their wording was a little bit vague. It was more like, hey, Overwatch 2 itself will be free. So I don't know if that means PvE is included in that, or if it's going to be something that, kind of like the man-up mode in TF2, you have to spend money in order to play. I'm kind of hoping that it is free, but at the same time, if they said, hey, for $20 you get access to all the PvE missions, I wouldn't have trouble putting money down on that. You know, just a quick one-time payment, and that's all you have to spend on PvE. I don't think that's
Yeah.
bad. I mean, fucking
Yeah.
Back for Blood
If
was
it's good
$60.
content, I'll fucking play it.
Yeah, if Back for Blood was $60 and Left 4 Dead 2 is $20, I think still retail.
Let me check.
I think it's like $10 or $20, and it only has like an hour or two worth of content. My point is, like, if you
$10
could,
for Left 4 Dead.
let's upscale that for like a modern game and say Overwatch 2 is $20
30.
for PvE. Yeah, 20, 30. Assuming that there were no other form of microtransactions affecting PvE, would you have a problem with that?
If they just like let you buy it.
Yeah, if they just said, hey, $20, you get it all.
If it's good content, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad content. I'm just saying, assuming it's good, Left 4 Dead like content, and then they'll say, hey, it's $20 a season. Let's just, simplify it further and say it's $20 a season. Every season you get 4 maps. Like, let's say, it's kind of like a normal season pass where over the course of a year you get X amount of DLCs. And they say, hey, the PvE, it's $20 a year and you get 4 maps per year rolled out over the course of every 3 to 4 months. I don't think I'd have a problem with that. $20 a year over the course of 4 years, you're talking $80 for 16 maps.
Yeah,
I don't see the problem.
Bit too little amount of maps for like a year.
Well, it depends on what the maps are, though. And from the way they've described it, these aren't like the PvP maps where you can play through them in like 10, 15 minutes. From what they've described in the past, the PvE experiences are going to range from being like half an hour to 50 minutes long. Like, they're going to be chunkier experiences. From what I understand, basically, we're talking, 3 to 4 times the length of a Left 4 Dead 2 level.
If I get satisfied, like in those, let's say the maps are like 4.
And that also
basically 4
includes
hours
stuff
in
like
total.
cutscenes and character interactions. It's going to be story-laden stuff. It's not just going to be like, hey, Tracer says, hi, Lucio. Lucio, hi, Tracer. Okay, good game, guys. No, they're actually going to have a lot of back and forth, apparently.
$20 for 4 hours-ish of content, let's say?
Yeah, 3, 4 hours.
I'd pay that, fuck it.
What'd you think of the PvP mode, the push game mode? I don't know how much you know about that.
The push? No, not really.
You just
like
keep
when you-
pushing until you stick it in, just in time for gay pride.
A gentleman always announces before he switches lanes. You have to yell in voice chat before you switch to the new line.
Now we know why Doomfist has been kept in Overwatch 2. Alright, that's awful. But yeah, Push is a new PvP game mode they've talked about before at past events. Where basically it's similar to Payload Rush or whatever it's called Payload Race from TF2.
Race, yeah.
Yeah, where instead of 2 different payloads though here, it's a little bit different here in that it's one single payload, but you can push in either direction. I think other games have done something similar to this before, where it's almost like a territory control thing.
Yeah.
Where the goal is basically to push the payload farther than the other team does. It doesn't matter so much whether you get all the way to the end as long as you inch it, an inch farther than the other team did on their end.
It'd be cool to have something like turf wars.
What, like territory control in TF2?
So like
Bringing in Turbine or whatever the hell?
I don't know. So like on this Gmod server, I'm a frequent player because I think I'm a fucking colonel on it at this point.
Yeah, because you're a loser that has no life.
I'm a
I get
retard.
it.
Yeah, basically on there, how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like territory capture.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's like 3 periods, peacetime, pre-war. That doesn't matter. Let's say just constant shit.
Yeah, it's like Battlefield
have,
where
like,
you have
3
multiple
lanes-ish.
control points in play at once.
They're all linked in
Mhm.
a bunch of like different ways. They all just link back to the base. So you gotta take all the territories in the proper order. Otherwise, you're not gonna fucking be able to capture the base one.
Got
That's how it works. So it'd be interesting to see something like that. Because then you
Yeah,
have
this is gonna be a little bit
constantly
simple.
pushing different
And also,
points.
one of the things that's going to make Overwatch 2 even more simple in a way, or rather different, is the transition from 6v6 to 5v5. Now, I've played a lot of Overwatch in 6v6, and I'll tell you, I do not appreciate 6v6. I think 6v6 can work in certain contexts, but overall, I don't enjoy it that much. Particularly, I don't like the role of the off-tank. The Overwatch team tried really, really hard to make off-tanks a thing, and the problem is it never seemed to work. Whether you have Roadhog, off-tanks are basically tank characters that don't have a shield and don't really have any main protective power, so their team can't really hide behind them for protection. Off-tanks are basically just DPSs with big health pools and damage resistance, like Roadhog, for example, or Zarya would be another example, I guess, although technically she has some shield capacity, just to a lesser degree. In this game, they're going to be restricting it to now you're only going to have 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support, so 5v5.
Forcing the player isn't gonna make it work better.
And they confirm they're going to be making some changes to each of the roles. Like for tank, if you're a DPS and like you're firing at an enemy tank, you're going to get like 30%, I think, less ultimate charge. So tanks are no longer automatic, farm batteries for ults. which is a nice little change, because if you're going to have there only be one tank and there's going to be a reduced emphasis on shields, you kind of need to do something about tanks being, farming tools for ults.
Yeah.
You don't need Hanzo getting his ult like every 5 seconds like he does now in Overwatch 1. I don't need another match where there's like 4 fucking dragons in 1 5-minute round.
Oh god. Do it like fucking Apex does. Doesn't Overwatch like lock you in? Doesn't let anyone else pick
it doesn't
hero.
do hero lock-ins. Paladins does hero lock-ins. TF2 and Overwatch don't, though.
Yeah, I know. And TF2, whereas TF2 is supposed to be fucking chaotic. Like,
exactly,
in Overwatch,
but Overwatch
it's
is
supposed
not
to be a team game.
Overwatch is the same team game that mysteriously allowed, 5 Bastions and 1 Reinhardt to be a thing in Season 1 of Comp. That wasn't addressed till like Season 3 of
Jesus
Comp.
Christ. They should allow lock-in. They should put lock-in into place if they want to actually have the fucking people play properly.
You've got a point, and there's been some hostility to that idea before. Some content creators have pushed for it, and they're like, well, that would it would negatively impact the flow of Overwatch and make it impossible for people to react to changes in the meta, or changes... Exactly. I don't know. I'm not an Overwatch content creator. I don't get paid big bucks to whine about non-existent problems.
I don't get it. What the fuck? Just pick a different hero.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just telling you, if they did that, then you'd have people like Stylosa whining endlessly about how this is going to forever damage the brand of Overwatch. And oh no, however, are we going to be able to do Overwatch counseling videos, Overwatch coaching videos, if
the same fucking
predetermined?
way you've been doing it ever since they've been fucking the balancing up the ass of that game. The same fucking way. Nothing's gonna change.
As I've learned recently, when it comes to certain big creators, they tend to be hypocrites on certain things when it is inconvenient for them. I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm not a big creator, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm just a small, little, insignificant nobody, and my opinion doesn't count. I'm just taking a look at the roadmap.
Who are they gonna make gay this time to get out of hot water?
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to have the first on-screen kiss in Overwatch 2 of Reaper and Soldier 76. What's going to happen is they're going to fly over Chernobyl in Russia, land down, defeat the Omnics who are trying to reactivate the nuclear power plant for the first time in like 200 years, because Overwatch is in the future. Overwatch is going to stop in, beat the shit out of the robots, defeat this king robot who's trying to take over the facility and use it to power robot domination. And then at the end, Chernobyl will blow up again. As the Overwatch team flies away in their hover ship thing, Reaper will look at Soldier 76, who just saved his life and saved him from getting nuclear radiated like that guy at the end of Call of Duty. And then Soldier will take off his visor for the first time in like 40 years, and they'll look into each other's eyes lovingly and kiss and fade to black.
No, he's gonna have like really fucking small eyes because he's been looking through sunglasses all this time.
And it's not just gonna be a normal kiss or the romantic kiss. He's gonna like fucking slam him against a wall, and they're just gonna go full at it while the rest of the team just watches and applauds.
God, I still find it fucking funny that every time they try to do representation, they show that they're more bigoted than the people they're trying to fucking spite.
I loved when that chart or whatever, that graph came out showing how they were planning on diversifying the characters. Because
the tokenism.
Yeah, exactly. I genuinely believe in diversity. Like, I belong to some diverse groups. I believe in the idea of genuine diversity. I believe in promoting more outside voices and narratives. Yeah. I believe in
if we had showing the same shit constantly, it'd get boring and uninteresting.
Yeah, I believe in treating people like people. Whether it doesn't matter what skin they've got, what gender they're born as, who they want to be. As in, like, if they're trans, I don't care who they want to be. As long as they're comfortable in their own skin, then that's what matters to me. Mm-hmm. And if the characters in Overwatch 2 are like that, I am fine with it. What I have an issue with is the idea that Activision is just going to trot out their first trans character, or yet another gay character, simply because they're facing a political controversy and they want to shield behind it, like J.K. Rowling does with Harry Potter lore.
Yeah.
I love that, how every time J.K. Rowling gets in hot water, she's like, oh, here's the cafe where I wrote chapter 16 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
You're just friends.
So yeah, what's your takeaway of Overwatch 2?
They're probably gonna try to make it work for the first start, but like they're probably gonna fucking abandon it once they realize basically no one besides like fucking hardcores like you are gonna play it.
Yeah, kind of like what happened the first time around in the first rodeo with Overwatch 1. Yeah. But, it launches in May 2016, and then by May 2018, they're like, screw it, we're done. Here, have Retribution or whatever it's called. No, Storm Rising. Have Storm Rising and be grateful that that's all you're getting. The Overwatch 2 team has been estimated to be roughly 2.5 to 3 times the size of the Overwatch 1 dev team at its biggest. And in Overwatch 1, new maps would drop roughly every 12 weeks. You know, like a new map or hero, sometimes both would drop every 12-ish weeks. They've been able to reduce that from 12 weeks to 9 weeks with triple the people. How is that possible to have triple the people and only move 25% faster? I've asked you this before, but like, what is the deal there? And over here with, this is another big thing that they've been trotting out, cross-progression. Now, I'm not a technical expert when it comes to how easy or not cross-play and cross-progression are to implement. Maybe you might know better about that than I would.
It's just data. If they have like a server to like synchronize, it shouldn't be too hard. But like, why the hassle? Just like migrate.
I'm just wondering why they're acting as if this is this big innovation that no one's ever heard of before. I mean, Fortnite's had data. Fortnite and all these other games have had cross-progression for years, like at least the last 2 years that I can think of. And here they are bragging about, oh, look at the PVE experiences you're going to get in 2023.
Yeah, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's just data.
October 4th, Season 1, 3 new heroes, 6 new maps, 30 new skins, new battle pass, which I guarantee you is going to come in both free and paid varieties.
And paid.
Yep. New mythic skin, 1 single mythic skin apparently, whatever, and a new game mode. The game mode we've already talked about, Push. That is
I wonder if they're gonna let you like choose who to use it on, or like if it's gonna be like a wide thing.
No, I think it's gonna be.
They tease another one, so that's
they already showed off They already showed off the mythic skin. It's gonna be for a specific character. I think it's Genji.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask because like I didn't see on the right the new mythic skin. I was thinking, oh, you can just do it on all characters. You just customize them with whatever the fuck you have.
And here's what we get 8 weeks later, so almost in time for their 9-week assessment.
One guy,
1 new hero, 1 new map, 30 new skins, and by the way, skins take no time at all to add, especially the uncommon and rare ones, which are basically
just recolors.
Yeah, they're recolors, maybe add a couple decals, and that's about it.
That's not hard, especially if you have the model already. It's not exactly the hardest.
I wonder how many of the
Sorry.
of the 30 new skins are going to be included in the new battle pass, and how many you're going to be able to buy outright.
Yeah.
Because I just don't believe that loot boxes are coming back. Future seasons, new heroes, new maps, okay, so just more of the same. Yeah.
Why did they put Doomfist behind them? Where's that fist going?
You don't want to know. It's like that one image we all know of the 5 guys and 1 woman.
Yeah.
I hope with Overwatch 2, with the addition of PvE maps, that they do more in the vein of cultural diversity. I want to see more diversity in the maps. I want to see the cultures of the lands that these maps are based off of represented accurately. Like Brazil, for example, is one of the maps they've revealed for Overwatch 2 for both PvP and PvE. It's a Brazil map, and they talked all about how they went to Brazil and they did a lot of local sound capture to get the atmospheric setting of Brazil. And they worked with Brazilian artists to make sure the art direction of the Brazil map would accurately reflect the culture of Brazil as a city. So yeah, I'm hoping we see more of that, where it's not just generic sci-fi map or generic sci-fi redo of an existing city. I want to see more kinds of cities that we in the West don't really get a lot of exposure to. Like, everyone knows about Cairo, everyone knows about, I don't know, fucking Australia. But I want to see like a map in the Congo that really shows us the upper class, lower class, like especially like the lower class areas. I want to see a map in India that allows us to see the different biomes and geography of that country. I want to see, more Eastern Asian countries represented, because I think that would be really interesting from a visual perspective to show that it is a very wide world out there and we only get to see a small portion of it.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Does that really well.
Yeah, and not only that, but tie in all those new locations to specific new heroes. I think what would be cool is if when they announce a new hero, they also added the map they originated from, like the country they originated from. Or if it's an existing map, then maybe they update that map with a little bit more extra detail referencing the connection to the hero.
Yeah, isn't like the Sigma guy from like Norway or some shit?
I could be wrong, but I don't think we have a Germany map yet, and I'd love to see a Reinhardt map. Torb is Norwegian.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it'd be cool to see like a map in the Netherlands if there isn't one already.
Another thing that'd be cool, in addition to having a hero and map, combined like with the same background, I'd also like to see more in the vein of comics of animated shorts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why Blizzard animation has been taking a backseat over the past few years, because Blizzard has one of the best animation studios in the world, and I'm not just saying that in terms of video game animation. I mean in genuine animation. I would say some of their Overwatch 1, some of their Overwatch 1 promo animations, I would say, are almost, if not entirely, on par with what I would expect from Pixar, from like a full Pixar theatrical movie.
You can see like the evolution from like the TF2 Meet the Team videos and that kind of stuff to like Overwatch's animated stuff.
I'd say there's
to,
a
like,
bigger
Apex's stories from the Outland stuff.
I'd say there's a more direct connection between Overwatch and World of Warcraft than there is TF2 in terms of the animated shorts, because Blizzard has always been well known for their high-quality animations and delivering a lot of story material in a short span of time in those animations. And they did that quite well in World of Warcraft. I never really cared about World of Warcraft. I played it for maybe like 4 hours back in like 2005 or 6 when I was over at a friend's house for a sleepover. I found it boring, wasn't my kind of game, but I will say the animations were always great. Their animation studio is just fantastic, and I don't understand why they've been taking a fiesta for the last few years. This is Future Dan editing this video. At around this point in the discussion, we kind of spun off into other topics before circling back to repeat the same 5 or 6 points of discussion we already covered. This was a casual conversation, there wasn't anything scripted about it, so things getting off the rail every now and then is an ongoing danger. If you're someone who's looking forward to Overwatch 2, this video isn't my way of saying you should feel bad about that or feel defensive in any way. What we're doing here is attacking the publisher and to a lesser degree the higher-ups within the Overwatch 2 team, the executive level members. As we said in the video, this is on them. The lackluster content, what's really nothing more than Overwatch 1.1, not Overwatch 2, is not the fault of all the environmental and character artists, the modelers, the programmers, the sound department, or any other individual or collective aspect of the game's development. Many of them are super talented individuals who are bursting with passion for their work, and should not be in any way blamed for any of this. Overwatch 2 is a disgraceful embarrassment of a product. In almost every conceivable way, it has objectively and subjectively failed to be an actual sequel. What we're getting in Overwatch 2 on day one is not even on par with what one would normally expect of an expansion. Instead, it feels more comparable to the amount of content we used to get from Overwatch 1's seasonal events for the first 2 years of the game's lifespan. Of the half a dozen or so friends I play Overwatch with, and all of whom I shared details of this Overwatch 2 reveal event directly via YouTube links and screenshots, not a single person reacted in any way that could even remotely be described as anything positive. I'm sure Overwatch 1.1 here will satisfy the absolute diehards, those who will gladly accept any kind of sequel, even if it's only in name only. Even if it offers little more than what they already got for free in Overwatch 1 from seasonal events, but with the team seemingly more interested in nitpicking individual minor hero reworks and role reworks, rather than stuffing Overwatch 2 full of content by day one, I just don't see how the game would ever have much of a shot of succeeding beyond day one as a paid game, which is probably why we're getting it for free, because almost no one would be stupid enough to pay $40, $50, $60, or $70 now for 4 heroes, 6 new maps, and marginally improved visual effects. Even Call of Duty manages to put together a more convincing package, and that series puts out new titles every single year. The Overwatch 2 executives have basically spent 4 or 5, maybe 6 years now with their thumb up their ass, so I don't know. I'll still give it a shot at launch, maybe earlier if I get into the beta, but I'm definitely not holding out any hope whatsoever on this being anything better than a complete and utter dumpster fire. And believe me, I'm not being negative for the sake of being negative, nor am I doing so as part of some Machiavellian maneuver, arguing against bigger channels who happen to be more enthusiastic about certain things than I am. Unlike bigger channels, I don't have much in the vein of financial investment in the games I cover, nor do I restrict my channel's content to merely 1 or 2 specific games. So I don't have this blinding sense of partisan-like loyalty to any one particular game or studio. Whether you like or hate the opinions expressed in this video, that's entirely up to you. But at the end of the day, they are my opinions. I'm certainly open to differing points of view, as long as we can remain civil. Maybe after hearing your opinions I may shift my position on the issue somewhat, and maybe not. All I can promise is that I'm open to having those conversations. But if you, for one moment, expect me to rein in my opinion simply because you, or some of the people watching, may not agree, you're going to be severely disappointed, because that's not the kind of legacy I want to leave behind me. As ever, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button and comment below what you think of the game. Comments really help my videos get boosted in the algorithm, and plus I read and respond to nearly all the comments I get. So even if you want to drop a comment just to say hi or get my opinion on something, even if it's unrelated, I'll be more than happy to chat with you there. Likewise, subscribing and clicking the bell really helps. I know it's cliche, but the YouTube algorithm is a pain in the ass to deal with. Doubly so as a small channel. This is Warrior Dan signing out. Stay awesome everybody, stay safe and peace out.